and at least talk about the books for the Asian Readathon that I would read if I could clone myself. Da-da-da-da-da! This still has the stickers from our Christmas wrap. See? Good way to reuse Christmas wrap. I'm gonna find a way to make this fit in. I'm gonna find a way to make it fit in to one of the prompts in one of the readathons. But you know you're overwhelmed with books when you have to decide on your TBR based on books being not too long. Hi everyone, it's me, Jess. Wow, we are seeing a lot of each other this week. Can I just say, I have been on the BookTube channel a lot. It's been a week. Sorry for the glare on my glasses. I am facing the window on this lovely, beautiful, sunny afternoon. We have rain coming. Okay, enough about the weather. I'm here to talk about the Asian Readathon, which I hope to participate in. I'm not sure at what capacity, but I am hoping to participate in it as fully as I can, along with the three other readathons that I'm planning on participating in May. This readathon is hosted by With Cindy, and I don't know how many years it's been running, but quite a few. And there's an amazing directory on Storygraph of books that qualify for all of the different prompts. All of the pertinent information will be linked. What I found a little bit tricky in putting my TBR together for the Asian Readathon is that, I mean, obviously that resource is there, but I wanted to pull books that I had on my shelves. I didn't want to buy any new books. And one of the criteria is that you can, I think you can double up on the prompts, but one of the criteria is that each of the books that you read is by an author from a different country. So that made it a little bit trickier. So I really tried to honor that when I put this together. First prompt is just to read a book by an Asian author. So I have a couple of options for just the first prompt. I do find that most of the books that I have on my shelves are written by Japanese authors. So I do want to expand my library. Speaking of, the book that I chose for the mystery thriller for the most recent TBR that I posted about the Star Wars inspired readathon, Fish Swimming in a Dappled Sunlight by Riku Onda, is a possibility. I may need to double up. I have more TBR, I have more books on my TBR for May than I think I've ever put on a TBR, and I have ambitious TBRs to start with. Another possibility of something that I might double up on and that I really want to read is How High We Go in the Dark, which I did not get to last month. It was a possibility for my April TBR, and I'm just gonna find a way to make this fit in. It is a Japanese-American author, so that could be my Asian option. I also have The Vegetarian, which is a nice little thin short book, although might be so disturbing that it takes time to read it. I'm not sure. By Han Kang, Korean. So I have other Korean authors as well. That's a possibility. And then I realized that I have two books in my wrapped TBR that qualified that I didn't read for last year's Asian Readathon, and I decided, well, I'm just gonna have to pull one of them out and unwrap them. If I really want to diversify the nationalities of the authors, then this will definitely do the trick. I wonder if anyone can guess which one it is. And I get to knock one out from my wrapped TBR at the same time. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da! That's the reveal. The Sympathizer, Viet, Nguyen. This could be the one. This sounded really intriguing to me. I've heard mixed reviews of it. I've heard some people really like it, some people didn't like it. It's about a spy. It says it's a sweeping epic of love and betrayal. So betrayal I don't know if that could cross over to some other readathon, but maybe. I don't know if it's a miserable book. Tell me in the comments below. So it's about a Vietnamese refugee living in Los Angeles, but he's secretly reporting back to his communist superiors in Vietnam. That sounds really good to me. That's a possibility. I think this is a good possibility. Plus I unwrapped it, so I feel committed. So that would satisfy the prompt of just reading a book by an Asian author. Super simple, right? The next prompt is to read a book featuring a friendship between at least two Asian characters. So for this, I thought I would read, and I got this from my local little book box, The Housekeeper and the Professor by Yōko Ogawa. And I hope it's not a romance. It could be like a friendship that turns into a romance, but it's about a brilliant math professor. And I hope the math professor is Japanese, I'm assuming, and an astute young housekeeper, I'm assuming. And it just says, The Housekeeper and the Professor is an enchanting story about what it means to live in the present and about the curious equations that can create a family. So I guess it could be like friendship to lovers, but that's what I got. Every other book that I have is about family relationships or about romantic relationships. I don't know enough about How High We Go in the Dark to know if there's a friendship in there. Maybe for those of you who've read it, you could let me know. I'm not sure. But it's definitely not the central idea in the book. And this is kind of a central idea. It's about, but it's not kind of billed as a romance. So I'm assuming it's a friendship. I'm going to go with it. Hopefully that fits the bill. I really want to read that book too because I've heard good things about it and it's not too long. I think it's kind of sad that my TBR selections have now been chosen on the basis of it's not too long. That's never good. That's never good. It's obviously an overcommitted month, but I don't expect to read everything, but I see what I do read and I really want to give it a try to read as many as I can. Okay, so the third prompt is read a book by an Asian author or featuring an Asian character that shows them going on an adventure. And this I'm excited about. I've talked about this book before, I think in a book haul. It's The Son of Good Fortune by Lesley Tenorio. Lesley Tenorio is a Filipino-American writer. So this is a story about a boy, Excel, who at 10 years old finds out that he's undocumented. And it's like an accident. And so he knows that if he makes any mistakes, it could really destroy his life. However, he decides to join his girlfriend on a journey south to an off-the-grid desert city where he can finally forge his own path. But after years of trying to be invisible, who does he want to become? And is it possible to put down roots in a country that has always considered you an outsider? So this is also about identity. But I feel like it has more of an adventure element to it than the one that I chose for the next prompt about identity. It says, The Son of Good Fortune is a luminous story of a mother and son testing the strength of their bond to their country and to each other. So yeah, he goes to this off-the-grid desert city. That sounds like an adventure to me. So I definitely hope to get to that one. The second prompt, which is really kind of, I feel like it's sort of similar to this idea of going on an adventure, at least in terms of the selections that I have, is to choose a book by an Asian author or with an Asian character that's focused on identity and self-discovery. So these could really kind of swap out for prompt 3 or prompt 4. This is A Passage North by Anuk Arudpragasam, and this is a Sri Lankan author. It's about the main character, Krishan, gets a phone call from his grandmother's caretaker telling him that his grandmother Rani has died under unexpected circumstances. The news arrives at the end of an email from Anjum, a woman Krishan fell in love with years before while living in Delhi. So Krishan makes the long journey by train from Colombo into the war-torn northern province for Rani's funeral. So begins an astonishing journey into the innermost reaches of a country. At once, a powerful meditation on absence and longing, as well as an unsparing account of the legacy of Sri Lanka's 30-year civil war. I feel like this is an adventure too. These are both adventures involving self-discovery. I don't want to double up. I don't want to just read one to satisfy both the prompts. Last prompt. So we have Japanese author, a Vietnamese author, a Filipino-American author, a Sri Lankan author. I'm really trying to get some Asian diversity in my TBR. The fifth prompt is to read a book with an Asian character who is either a hot mess, famous, or eccentric. So I picked up recently in a book called Crying in H-Mart. I've been wanting to read this since last year when everybody was talking about it. This is a memoir, and it is about Michelle Zauner, who is best known as Japanese Breakfast, so it definitely fits the bill for somebody famous. It's a coming-of-age story, and I've heard that people who don't normally cry when they read books have sobbed when they read this book. This is a book about growing up Asian American, straining to meet her mother's expectations, moving across the country, and returning home to reckon with grief. I'm already sad. So this is going to be a miserable book for sure. Will it be my miserable book choice for Misery May? You're going to have to tune in to my Misery May TBR to find out. Those are my picks, my options, my possibilities. 8 more books potentially on my TBR. They're not all going on there. But those are what I pulled from my shelf. Those are ones that I hope to get to. I'll probably maybe read 3, 4. If I read 5, remember, if I'm doing 50%, I'm good. And I encourage you to like my video and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you, I don't know, probably tomorrow with my next TBR. So stay tuned. And I hope you have a good, warm, lovely weekend. Bye for now. Siri, are you there? Siri, can you hear me, Siri? Hello? Where are you, Siri? Where is Siri on here? Nola, can you ask Siri to tell me how to pronounce this name? Siri, shouldn't Siri be the first thing that pops up? Hey, there's a setting right here that says oh, everybody probably knows this but me, but it says listen for Hey Siri, which is what I was trying to do. So let's turn that on. Just having a little kombucha break. It's a kombucha break, not sponsored. It's a Montreal kombucha too, but I'm not going to tell you which one. You can guess in the comments below. No, you're not going to know, are you? No. Why would you want to guess the kombucha that I'm drinking? What a silly idea.